Women, what flirting technique actually worked on you? Viewers Edition. Story 1. I'm not bi. I thought I was bi. I did for a long time, and I gave dating a shot. That explains the profile picture. I had this profile picture for years. You can get a romantic relationship to develop from a well-established friendship, but I only lost friends because of this. Losing friends because I found their romantic approaches uncomfortable and rejected them. I've thought I liked men. It turns out the kind of man I liked was my type, and I thought what a man was doesn't actually exist. I was attracted to a fantasy. I don't understand men. The unknown of men scares me. Women are a dilemma, so after figuring out that I don't like men, I began to question, am I a lesbian? The answer is no, because even though I can see myself in the future settling down with a girlfriend or a wife and have a far better understanding of women, I know what a woman is. I know the deal that I'm getting into, but I don't like to be romantically approached. While I still have desires to have fun in the bedroom with someone, so I don't think I'm ace, being a transgender girl, let's just say I don't have the right equipment to fulfill my desires. I don't enjoy it. Story 2. Bro, flirting is the easy part in my opinion. Well, for me at least. I seldom had trouble striking up a conversation or getting a girl on a date, but I am terrible at escalation, probably because I was raised without a father. But I have this inner insecurity about physical escalation. I've missed so many girls like this. Feels bad. Once at a party I was chatting and dancing with a chick, and at some point I invited her over to the side where there was a leisure corner that was a bit quieter, and there were couches to chill on. So we keep talking, maintaining eye contact, and I am so caught up in my mind as to what my next move should be that I literally must have spaced out for a brief moment, because when I came to my senses, I noticed that she is now so close to my face that our lips are nearly touching. Still didn't kiss her in the end, totally missed it. Well, I was kind of messed up on all sorts of drugs and alcohol, but don't be that dense, brother. Story 3. Sadly, I don't have any great success stories, but I have some great failures. I was once invited to a party where the majority of people were from my friend's dance school. As any super stiff dude surrounded by professional dancers would do, I stood in a corner drinking. This hot girl approached me and started asking where I was from and how I had ended up there. Then she asked if I wanted to dance, and I explained I was terrible at dancing, but if she took the lead, I was all game. We danced a bit, and the party was about to end, so she asked me if I wanted to come with her to her place for an after-party, then winked. I was drunk and at the moment did not understand anything. I answered sure, but as I said, I'm here with my friend, so I should ask him if he feels like partying on. As I turned to my friend, she disappeared. I don't think there was a party. Story 4. The fear of rejection is what holds people back. Just saying it never hurts anyone. It might lead to stuff, or even dating. Who knows, maybe she liked you too. Or maybe even would look your way when it wasn't like that before. Doesn't happen all the time. Regardless, it never hurts to just say it. Unless it is hard for them on the rejection side, or it's complicated to go there for any reason, that would be different. Also goes to the individual if they want to proceed or leave it be. There are ways to go around that. One is to not let it get to you and getting hit that hard. The other is to just go for it and talk to them to not allow it to be awkward or whatnot, and to resume the way things are like it never occurred. But that still goes into if they were for it or not. At least you tried and let them know how you feel. Story 5. 2 kinds of lines work for me, music or video games. Was at a party at my friend's house. I'm a socially awkward, socially anxiety-ridden, geeky dude, so I spent most of the party in a corner playing Pokemon on my DS. A guy comes over and asks what I'm playing. I tell him and he goes, "Can I get a Pikachu so I can show you my moves? Harden, Protect, Pound, and String Shot?" I blushed and said, "As long as I can show you how to be the very best like no one ever was." He retorts, "Well, prepare for trouble." I said, "And I'll make it double." We got it on and dated for 4 years, and he was my first time. 14 to 18 years old was the best time of my life. Story 6. I don't talk about it much because people online are vicious, but I was the one who was at the movies and asked my date if she wanted a kiss. I bought Hershey's Kisses just so I could try that out and tried to save face by clarifying that it was chocolate and not actual kissing. I've never been as smooth since, and for some reason scored after telling my depressing life story to my now fiancé. I also predicted something that came true 30 minutes later, but she swears up and down that wasn't why she fell so hard. But anyway, I had a child a year and a half later, and the rest is up to the universe. Story 7. I find these stories fascinating because I actually hate flirting. I hate getting hit on. It makes me angry, sad, and scared, all at the same time. I despise it, any kind of flirtatious behavior, or asking me out on a date, or asking me to go to bed. I will reject you immediately. It's going to make me freak out, and I'm going to be disgusted by it. I hate it. So hearing the stories of these flirtatious acts that actually worked, and people have liked it, I am beyond amazed. Had to stop watching about halfway because I'm just too disgusted. The stories are fascinating, but gross. Like, really yucky. Story 8. I've been on both sides of the fence at multiple points in my life, and I can say this is definitely the truth. But that also means people are able to change and maintain their appearance if they put in the effort. Oftentimes, when someone sees you put effort in, that's enough to be attractive in their eyes. Like, sure, Shrek is an ogre, but you put him in a three-piece suit, and automatically a beautiful woman would wonder if he's in her league, and that could be his ticket in. Story 9. I know, her friend was talking to me about what if her friend liked me or something like that, and my immediate response was that I already knew she liked me. Looked her dead in the eyes while saying it. Least I had ever said to get some. To be fair, if anyone says something like that, it can only mean they're testing the water to see what my reaction would be if they were serious. Women hate rejection, and this is just another method to get information without risk. I leave that with you to do with as you wish. Story 10. One time in church, I was responsible for delivering pamphlets. This girl I knew and had worked together with before in church events, but that's pretty much it, came by and said, "Hey, come here often?" And she broke me completely. I was a tall, mid-20s, always angry-looking man, and this short little girl made me giggle like an idiot out of nowhere. Long story short, we've been married 4 years and are expecting our first daughter. Story 11. What are things men notice in a girl? I need advice, not to change myself, but to just be aware. I'm interested in a guy, and I made a half-joking move, and he said no, but he acts as if he's interested in me, and we just never talk about the half-joking sort of confession. I said, I can be your Fiona if you can be my Shrek. It was also for $5 from someone, and I let him know that. Shrek! Story 12. I introduced myself to a girl at a party, got to talking, ended up at her place. It was great. I don't think we slept more than an hour. Everything had gone well until it came full circle, and I found myself introducing myself to her dad. Easiest way to pick up girls is to just introduce yourself. Be fun. Also, don't be a bum. Seems to work well enough for me and my friends. Story 13. Magical place, to be honest. It depends lots on the attitude. I've seen plenty of ugly faces of both genders get their way around people in way smoking hot babes and dudes haven't. In my opinion, some physically unattractive people just have to develop a killer charisma and then go do it, while other more attractive people just don't bother and become plainer as a result. Story 14. For those of you who were wondering how it went, she said yes, and a date is at 5 o'clock today. Her parents were surprisingly okay with it. I plan to go horse riding and then Netflix and chill, basically. I will update on how it goes. It's important to just be yourself. If you guys have any other ideas on what we should do, please do tell me in the comments. Thank you. Story 15. I don't like flirting. While I understand the concept on paper, I don't understand what's going on in practice. So if I assume someone is just being friendly, but they're really flirting and then or suddenly things get, I don't know how to describe it, I realize they're romantic or have other intentions, and I find it to be a big shock, a big surprise I don't like. Story 16. Once bought myself souvenir on the school trip. One girl asked me for who I bought it for. I said, for myself. But in my language, the sentence is similar to for you, as girls hear what they want to hear, not what we say. I'll not complain. We had fun times that evening in her room, and a few times after. Most rewarding miscommunication ever. Story 17. Asking a girl something specific about her weekend activities, which she mentioned she was going to do, got her unexpectedly excited. Almost shouting, "You remember what I said?" I mean, duh, it wasn't that hard to remember something for 5 days, but apparently a huge deal being paid attention to. Story 18. Women, what flirting technique actually worked on you? Guy here. I was with this girl, ... Not a woman, but... My friend met this girl in class. Man here, this is how I met my now wife. The classic not me, but ... Story 19. I agree. I'm convinced it barely matters. Well, it probably still matters, but maybe not that much, how someone flirts. If two people, one attractive and one unattractive, flirted the exact same way with you, the attractive one will be successful, while the other one will just be creepy. Story 20. I saw this happen in high school. Some daddy Yankee-looking guy told this Jeannie Ortega-looking girl, "Are you from Japan? Because I'm trying to get in Japanties." Lo and behold, she got up and walked off with him. To this day, I still think they're already dating or something. Story 21. I don't believe in astrology. Somehow a girl opened a conversation with me using questions about astrology, knowing really well that I don't believe it. God dang, that opened up a way for a longer conversation. Never knew it would be fun to talk about stuff I don't agree on with other people. Story 22. There's a meme of a certain anime girl saying, "Hey mister, do you want to do it?" I always joked how that is my go-to pickup line and that it works every single time. Just gotta say, "Hey miss," instead. After watching this, I think it might actually work. Story 23. The Federal Republic of Eurasia, that actually falls under 2, not excessively unattractive to me, but good try. Oh, hang on a moment. They're dead, and they're still flirting? What form of undead are we on about here? It might make a difference. Story 24. Number 19 sounds really interesting. Doing all that from A to Z in total silence never occurs to me, but as I think of it, I realize that surely there can and have been various situations where one can just shut up and focus on the essentials. Story 25. I'm autistic, so I can't fake listening to people, but dang if I didn't get laid more than a few times at university, because when I'm genuinely interested in what someone is saying, apparently my total focus is like an aphrodisiac. Story 26. Compliment a guy when you have the opportunity to, similar to how boys compliment girls in romance movies. It's true that a boy remembers a compliment for a decade, and multiple for the same person is godly for you. Story 27. I guess that charm is not from his appearance alone, but also communication skills. This dude is one of the teachers, rather overweight and dark-skinned, but his charisma shows even on text. Even some male students fall for him. Story 28. I knew my ex-wife 13 years before she sent flowers to my work. I said, "That was nice. Did you not want them?" Thinking they were some free things she forwarded because she didn't like them or something. Story 29. Communication with men is both ignored and incredibly brief when it happens. You chat with your bros for 10 minutes and you're good to go. Unfortunately, no one really cares about how men actually feel. Story 30. This isn't flirting. Girls already decide if they want to sleep with you or not based on how you look, and if they are, and you aren't a complete butthole, treat her nice, it will work. Still not flirting. Story 31. One time I nervously told the new girl at middle school that we should trade numbers. She actually gave me her phone number. Then I did stupid stuff and lost out on her. Way to go, past me. Story 32. No single act of flirting works on me. I'm a man, they all work on me, subject to the flirtier being number 1, female, number 2, not excessively unattractive to me, and number 3, me being unattached at the time. Story 33. You misunderstood. Chatting and hanging out with friends gives the opportunity for the things you need to say to fly free. Often your friends will have a solution rather quickly. Story 34. Certified human male here. Can confirm that no act of flirting will ever work on me, for I am unable to see anyone as potentially being interested in me, instead only being polite. Story 35. Are you asensual by chance? If not, how exactly would you expect a relationship to start if a stranger with good intentions couldn't approach someone they were attracted to? Story 36. Most of these seem to be told from the guy's point of view, so that isn't what the title says, and it says flirting worked on. I didn't assume that meant it has to have gone all the way. What the frick? Story 37. If you attract someone physically only, you actually have nothing. They will change you once they find someone more physically attractive. You have to attract their soul. Story 38. Timestamp 1310, and asking a guy, "How are you?" or giving a meaningful compliment also holds a similar context. We're so deprived. Please just say something. Story 39. All I literally did was ask, "Hey, is it fine if I kiss you?" A little bit of a butterfly effect in my favor later, and yeah, it was a one-night stand. Story 40. Capital U, lowercase w, capital U, however you pronounce that. Okay, just kidding. No one ever said this stuff to me, but it's just funny if this really worked on any human beings on this planet. Story 41. I noticed that although the question on the title was directed at women, the answers were mostly from men. Story 42. Make mukbang videos featuring hot women. That would be sure to work. Please leave your stories in the comments. I'd love to make a video of them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.